Pakistan cricket at its best. 1 minute down, next minute up.
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me once again. Absolutely delighted to have this guest today. She's a left-arm spinner, 28 ODIs for England, 40 20Is. She made her debut at the age of 14 for Lancashire, which is just absolutely incredible. She's part of the England side that won the 2017 World Cup. She's played for loads of teams around the world, including Middlesex, Hobart, Welshfire, Manchester Originals, and about 100 other teams as well. She's a hugely popular commentator. Love listening to her forthright views on cricket. I think we need more commentators like her who don't hold back and, you know, express their views and say it how it is. And last year she was the Multan Sultans spin bowling coach, and she's back there again this year. The one and only Alex Hartley. Alex, thanks very much for joining me.
Hey, that's a great intro. I mean, I didn't realise I'd played for so many teams, though.
Well, I did a little bit of research and I thought this intro could last about half an hour.
I don't know what that says about my cricket ability or the fact that I just love playing cricket.
No, I think you deserve that intro, Alex. And as I say, brilliant to have you on. You know, you must have done something right last year to get Multan Sultans to invite you back again.
Yeah, I mean, we had a brilliant year, didn't we? Yes, we didn't win the competition, but we were runners-up. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely loved it last year. It was something completely different, something that I'd never experienced before, and I'm so grateful to get the opportunity to carry on my coaching career this year as well.
Just didn't quite make it. You mentioned there you had a brilliant tournament, the team. They looked like favourites all the way, really, didn't it? And then just that final hurdle just fell a little bit short.
Yeah, look, and I actually think the final was the worst game that we played, to be completely honest. And Islamabad had this like winning momentum behind them, and you could just see that they were almost creeping up. It was like the back of a horse race, and you can just see a horse coming up behind you, and you sort of knew that, you know, they had the potential to just have a blinding game, and they did. They had that winning momentum. We'd obviously lost a couple of games throughout the previous week or two, so we didn't quite have that momentum behind us. But look, we could have won, we should have won. But it's fine margins in T20 cricket, and that's all it came down to.
Any lessons that you learned from the previous tournaments last time around that you'll take into this tournament?
Yeah, I think for me, the sun still comes up tomorrow. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's just a game of cricket, and it's fast paced. You know, it literally you go to bed, there's another game in a couple of days. You travel, there's another game. So for me, it's being able to park the results from a player's side of view and just move on to the next one, because it's a long competition. So even if you don't win your first game, or you do win your first game, it doesn't mean to say you're going to win the competition.
So, I mean, you know, the fact that you were in Pakistan, a lot of the players say it's a case of training, match, hotel, flight. Was that how it was, or did you get a chance to see some of the cities, visit some places?
No, unfortunately, it was literally hotel, training ground, game, or golf. You're allowed to go and play golf. I'm taking my golf clubs this year to let me out for a bit. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I've been to Pakistan a few times commentating, so I've had that freedom of being able to explore the country, and I love going back. So yeah, I'm excited to be back again.
So what interests you about Pakistan? What do you enjoy about going out there? I know people say that, oh, the fans are passionate about cricket, but there must be other things as well.
Yeah, the fans are passionate. I think everyone's really hospitable. Everyone's really welcoming. It's a place that, you know, I love going back to. Everyone's amazing. Everyone treats each other exactly the same. But for me and this coaching gig, it's much more than a coaching gig. And yes, everyone goes, well, what do you mean? It's also showing that women have a right in Pakistan, and that, you know, women should have equal rights. And there's an opportunity for these young girls that are watching the cricket, because they're there in the crowd, we've seen them. There's an opportunity for them to potentially play and maybe have a career like mine, or become a coach in the future. So for me, you know, coaching is obviously the main priority, and trying to get our lads right for games and the best out of them that I can. But also there's another meaning behind the whole thing as well.
Well, that's it. It's an interesting point you make that, you know, at the end of the day, rather than seeing you know, dugouts full of men, coaches and players, you know, you and Kath are sat there, and that must be really inspirational for some of these girls who are watching the games.
I hope so. I honestly really hope so, because it's something that I love doing. It's something that's so different. It's something that I'm really passionate about. I love my coaching. I love getting involved. And like I said, I want other people to be able to view it as a genuine career option as well, and that that young girls can watch and do what we're doing. So yeah, it's different to what's happening around the world, and it's different that it's happening in Pakistan. But really glad it is.
How do the players take to female coach? I had this conversation with Kath as well. Pakistan is a fairly conservative country still. Cricket is a very male-oriented, male-dominated sport. Were the players sort of accommodating, listening to your views, or were they a little bit, well, I know what I'm doing here?
Um, it's a really funny one because I was really apprehensive because I also wasn't sure how I was going to be respected or taken within the dressing room. So I'm quite a chatty, outgoing person, very eccentric. But for the first few days, I just stayed really quiet and sort of got my feet on the ground and just weighed everything up. But the lads were honestly amazing. It got to the stage where they'd be going, "Coach, what are the plans?" Like Rizwan would be, "Alex, what's the plans to this batter? What are we doing?" So they totally respected that. It obviously took a bit of time for both of us to get used to because it's never been done before. But a week or two, probably not even two, a week into the competition, I'm hoping I was just seen as one of the lads.
Who were the players that you had the best relationship? Who did you get really close to in terms of bonding?
Yeah, look, I think it's bound to be the spinners, isn't it? Because I spend more time with them. So Osama Mir, Faisal Akram, Love Ifti, Hush Still as well. Two lads. I tried to get in the nets as much as possible, but they're old and they back their skills. But we had a good laugh about that. But yeah, Faisal and Osama for me, we got on really well, and they're two people that I've stayed in contact with throughout the year as well.
And Rizwan, I mean, he's quite a conservative uh, person when it comes to females. I'll be careful what I say here. But even when he's being interviewed by a female commentator, etc., he's quite reserved. What was he like with you? Did he open up because you were part of the Multan Sultans environment?
Yeah, look, it's all about respect. I respect him and his religious views and his views on how he goes about his life, and he respected me as well. So, it like I say, it took a bit of time to get used to, but as soon as you got used to it, it was good morning, sister, good night, sister. How are you, coach? Coach, what are the plans? Just saw me as one of the staff because ultimately that's what I was, and I saw him as one of the players, and that's what he was. He was captain of the team, who I've got a lot of respect for. And now it's one of those, I'll see him around the world coaching and have a little wave and a chat and how are you getting on? What are you up to? So yeah, I think it was really good for both of us.
And looking at some of the guys that you're going to be working with this time, some of the spinners, you mentioned Osama Mir and Faisal Akram, but you've got the experienced Michael Bracewell as well from New Zealand and Motie from West Indies as well. So there's some real talent there, isn't there, to be working with?
Yeah, and that's something that really excites me because in a 4 or 5 week competition, I'm not there to move mountains, right? They all have their coaches that they work with away from the PSL. And for me, it's how I can get the best out of those four guys during the PSL. So, what have you been working on? What do you need my help with? How can I help in any way? What do you want me to keep an eye on? And just write those things down. And then if I notice something within their action that they've already pointed out to me that they want me to keep an eye on, then I'll interrupt and then I'll suggest something. But I'm not there to change actions. I'm not there to move mountains. Like I said, I'm there to get the best out of them. And I think that's why we gained that respect from each other last year, because I've had coaches come in for a competition that try and change things. You go, hang on a minute, I'm not going to see you again for another year. So look, a lot of tactical work was done by me. I've commentated, like you say, a lot around the world, and I've seen a lot of the overseas. So I can bring almost my commentary tactics into my coaching and go, actually, somebody like Dan Sams won't sweep a spinner early on. So tell the bowlers, look to bowl fuller and straighter. Both jobs help each other, which is brilliant.
What's tougher, commentary or coaching?
Coaching, because it's so alien to me. I love it. I think it's amazing. Commentary is second nature now. I turn up whether you're on the TV or the radio. I just know what I'm doing. Coaching, I reckon it'll still take me when I get back into the environment tomorrow. It'll still take me a couple of days to find my feet again.
And looking at the PSL squads, it's almost a case of, Alex, where the squads are getting stronger and stronger each year. And this time, I was looking through the squads. It's very noticeable that especially the overseas talent this time around, it seems to be a lot better. Have you noticed that? Is that something that you agree with?
Yeah, I think the overseas talent. You know, we've got some brilliant overseas that are coming over. In a way, I think it helps it clashing with the IPL, to be completely honest, because you know exactly who you can and can't pick. There's no pulling out of one competition to potentially go to another. Yes, that's obviously happened with one player, but you know, you commit to a competition and that's you. So yeah, look, the overseas are getting better and better each year. It's becoming a competition that more and more people want to get involved in, more and more players want to play. And we've seen that over the last few years with the strength of the overseas.
Multan Sultans look like they're going to be amongst the favourites this time around. I mean, the squad looks really, really strong. But looking at some of the other teams, who do you think are going to be the main rivals?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? I know you can never really judge a team on paper because, yes, we look like we've got a really strong team. We've come second for the last few years running, which is really frustrating. We need to try and get over the line. For me, Lahore look really strong. You know, you look down their squad and I think they've got a really strong squad. You know, the winners last year, Islamabad United, they've lost a few players, but they've gained a few as well. They'll have that confidence of winning the tournament last year. But like you say, you look at every squad and you go, I'm not sure there's much weakness, to be completely honest. You just got to hope that a few teams start losing and getting that losing momentum.
And finally, Alex, Pakistan are struggling in white ball cricket, particularly. Not had a great year in Test cricket either. You've obviously seen them play recently, and you know, Champions Trophy, etc., which was a horrible tournament for Pakistan. Anything you've observed even regarding where things are going wrong for Pakistan?
Yeah, look, consistency. To be completely honest, consistency. You know, I don't know if you saw the stat about how many coaching staff they've had in the last year. It's like double everyone else, you know, if not more. You know, they've had so many head coaches. Players come in, they don't know who's going to be coaching the next couple of months, whether it's going to be the same head coach or somebody else. So they don't have that confidence behind them. You know, you've just seen that they've dropped Mohammad Rizwan from T20 cricket, but he's got the best numbers. So you go, hang on a minute. Yes, it's a numbers game, or maybe you know, they see something that they want to change in his game, give him a bit more confidence away from cricket or whatever it may be. But they just need consistency. They need to appoint a coach and go, right, you are our coach. They need to go, here's our squad of, let's say, 25 across the 3 tournaments and give people an opportunity. We've seen it in other countries where you have an opening bat, a young opening bat that will fail 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times, then win you a game. They are then secure for the next few games. You don't really have that within Pakistan cricket. So I'd love to just say, just be consistent with your teams and your coaching staff and just let everything settle.
You sound like a future Pakistan spin bowling coach.
We shall see.
Alex, really appreciate your time. I know you're flying out to Pakistan in the next day or two, and wish you all the best out there. Fingers crossed for Multan, and I'm sure you'll be hugely popular once again. And keep up the great work. Thanks very much.
Thank you, mate.
Thank
you.